You've had a dynamic where money's become freer than free.
If you talk about a Fed just gone nuts, all the central banks going nuts.
So it's all acting like safe haven.
I believe that in a world where central bankers are tripping over themselves to devalue their currency, Bitcoin wins. In the world of fiat currencies, Bitcoin is the victor.
I mean, that's part of the bull case for Bitcoin.
If you're not paying attention, you probably should be.
What is up, freaks? Welcome back to Tales from the Crypt. It's your boy Marty Bent here on a beautiful Wednesday evening for me. It's turning into evening. I'm very excited to have this conversation. We nailed it down today. I'm sorry. I am slow to respond to DMs sometimes. I'm sitting down with Bitcoiner, great Bitcoiner, Brian Harrington. Brian, welcome to the podcast.
Dude, it's like humbling, truly humbling to be here talking to you and the freaks. Like I'm excited to be alive, and I'm excited that we're all rising to the occasion. So I'm excited to just openly conspire with all of you and continue ushering in the revolution. Like, that's what I feel like we're doing. So I'm thankful to be here.
Thankful to have you here. And that's why I wanted to bring you on. You're very, very vocal about wanting to free the world and free people's minds and get them out from under the thumb of the state, particularly after all this lockdown stuff, where obviously it's a hot topic, very controversial to some, but I think in my mind, at least, there's no doubt that the state is taking advantage of this crisis to inhibit civil liberties, and some people are just rolling over and taking it.
Yeah, no, exactly. That, like, it is kind of controversial. Like, I threw out that protest video on our Bitcoin just to, try to make some new friends, see what was going to happen. And everyone was mad at me for like being outside on our Bitcoin. And I was like, I thought we were libertarians here. Like, I don't understand like what's happening. So I just want people to, like, I appreciate people's perspective on, both sides of this thing. But no, yeah, the shutdown has truly kind of like shook me to my core, because like I've been involved in politics. I've always loved politics. And like, there's thousands, that, not exaggerating, think across the United States, thousands of city council, county council, state representatives, federal representatives that are ignoring private property rights and saying that it's illegal to engage in commerce. That's weird. Like, so these people that I've been like working for and working with have nothing to do with what I'm interested in doing. And that's been a weird realization over the last, 58 days.
Yeah, I mean, and especially as more data is coming in, we know who this virus attacks. We have better data around that, and who we should be protecting and who is less susceptible to getting a severe case of this virus. It doesn't make any sense to quarantine everybody, especially as tens of millions of people are becoming unemployed. I think I just saw a tweet where Chairman Powell came out and said 40% of people making $40,000 or lower are currently unemployed, which is insane.
Yeah, no, so that's what sparked for me this whole stuff about taxes is that, like, on a real practical level, like, what are we paying for? Like, what am I paying for? You're taking away rights, you're taking away freedoms. I thought that's what I was paying for. Like, I thought that's what the social contract said, was that you as elected people protect life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness, and me as the citizen, like, pay taxes. Isn't that what the arrangement is? Like, and so you guys aren't upholding your end of the bargain. So, like, what am I supposed to do to uphold my bargain?
Yeah, no, that's why we're sitting here. It's like tax protest. Definitely a very, very touchy, controversial subject. Should we not pay our taxes? I mean, this is something I've been thinking about more, and it's definitely a taboo subject to even bring up. Like, oh, you're not going to pay your taxes? The IRS is going to come knocking on your door. You're going to get Wesley sniped. But fuck it. Like, let's have the conversation. They are not upholding their end of the bargain. We're finding out that some of our tax dollars may have even gone to fund the research around this virus specifically. Like, so we're paying to have them research something that is killing us. What does it even make sense anymore? Are we getting any return on our investment at this point? And is it an investment or a return on our labor?
Right. No, and I know it's a touchy subject, and I know it's like look, it's easy to just be a loudmouth libertarian on Twitter. Like, and I'm guilty of that. I'm just as guilty of that as, you know, a lot of us are. But that's why I started to really like think about, okay, what would this actually look like? And that's where kind of this renewed sense of urgency to me of like the Bitcoin circular economy and like, what do these citadels actually look like? What, you know, there already are arrangements like this in the United States, because like, look, the Amish already live under their own set of rules. The Native Americans already live under their own set of rules. And so I don't know, like there has to be legal ways, or like I sent you this, like too, like there was just this ruling at the Supreme Court called the Janus decision that allows public employees to opt out of their unions now. So that's been like a long fight over like a long amount of times of people like standing up for their rights and saying like, no, I shouldn't have to join this like collective bargaining thing if I don't want to, even though you're, you know, mandating that I do it. And I kind of want to do the same thing, dude, but with like Social Security. Like Social Security is not going to pay us back. It's not. Like we all know that. We all know the math on that. But now like we have this like radical open source software tool to create our own economy and literally annex ourselves in place while still being, you know, patriots of whatever country we live in. And so that's like, I'm trying to drive this line of like, I'm not just trying to spout off this like, oh, I'm angry, you know, you guys aren't treating me fair or whatever. As much as I, you know, feel like that and want to rant like that, I'm literally trying to make like an actual case for, you know, what does this middle of the road, you know, change look like to protest while just we're building around the regulations.
Yeah, and I think Alex Gladstein made a good point yesterday. We were on a panel, or a podcast panel, if you will, at the Value of Bitcoin conference, the virtual conference, and he made a good point about peaceful protest having much greater chances of succeeding as opposed to violent protest, and Bitcoin is the most peaceful protest because you don't even have to leave your fucking house.
Yeah. No, just every dollar that you swap into Bitcoin is a protest. And every dollar that we keep inside Bitcoin, inside the circular economy, is a protest. And so that's like, and I guess that's what's cool, right? Is that this, I mean, the silver lining of this thing is that it has brought the sense of urgency to me to not just be one of these guys that, you know, like there is this whole debate of just, you know, hodling versus spending and just like, what is this going to look like? And I do think some of us are in trouble of kind of just, you know, keeping the sats on hardware wallets and just hoping for the moon. And that is positive. It's still a net benefit. But like, I'm excited for some of us that have been doing that for a while to start taking the next step. Like I just bought an Android, like, dude, I'm an iPhone Cash Apper, dude. I'm an iPhone Cash Apper Bitcoiner. Like, but I'm trying to learn and get better. Like I bought an Android, you know, I'm hanging out with like the samurai guys now in Telegram and trying to learn and trying to understand what the whole deal is, because I never had, there was no point in me buying Bitcoin for cash because I didn't know how to store it because it was confusing. But now with, you know, Samurai and Whirlpool and all this stuff on the phone, and they give you control over the UTXOs, that's now more simple for me to actually, you know, have digital cash and have a dedicated phone that would allow me to participate in a circular economy.